Over the past few weeks, have you felt easily distracted from important work? Have you reacted maybe instantly to something, either defensively or emotionally, and then later wished you'd responded differently, maybe more calmly? Have you felt maybe deflated when things didn't go to plan or went wrong? Have you got caught in negative thinking loops? Have you doubted your ability, felt low in confidence, and wondered whether you're good enough? Or have you felt a bit disconnected from home life and felt unable to mentally switch off from either work or something else going on? You're not alone. You're part of a much wider group called human beings. Most of us experience these mindset challenges at various points in our life. This was my realization when I left education. No matter the path we choose in life, our brain and mind are our greatest tool to thrive through the inevitable challenges that we'll face. Yet, it always struck me that we're never taught how it works, how to prioritize it, or how to optimize it so we can offer our potential to these challenges and the opportunities that we'll face in our chosen path. So, I set out on a quest to fill this gap in our education and created the Five to Thrive mental fitness workout. Five evidence based tools taken from the latest neuroscience and psychology research that I'm going to guide you through today that support us to proactively and preventatively build our mental fitness throughout our busy days so that we're better able to thrive through these challenges and be more resilient and more confident. And I always compare this to physical health. Most of us recognize in order to keep and build our physical fitness, we need to exercise regularly. We don't wait until we're injured to start. And if we stop, well, we know our physical fitness will decline. So, why don't we treat, if our brain and mind is our greatest tool, why don't we treat it with the same proactive approach? You'll leave this mental fitness workout with the foundations to build these tools into helpful habits into your life long term. So let's get started with our Five to Thrive mental fitness workout. The first of which is a mindful moment, a short breath work exercise. So take a moment to get yourselves comfy and either lower your gaze or close your eyes. And take a moment to just be a human being rather than a human doing. We've got nothing we need to do and nowhere we need to be. And now focusing your attention on your breath. Noticing where you feel the movement of your body as you breathe most. And now taking active control of your breath with your next breath in, breathing in slowly through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 5, and then breathe out slowly for 6. And repeat this a couple of times in your own pace. And now, with your next breath, placing your hand on your stomach. And as you're breathing and counting, just noticing the movements of your hand on your stomach as you breathe. Breathing in, filling your stomach with air and noticing how your hand on your stomach rises and how it falls as you breathe out. And now, with your next breath in, as you breathe in, clenching your hands into a fist. Hold them there with your breath for a couple of counts. As you breathe out, let your hands be free. And again, as you breathe in, scrunching your hands into a ball, hold them there for a couple of counts. As you breathe out, let them go. And now moving from our hands up to our shoulders. As you breathe in, raise your shoulders up to your ears. Hold them there for a couple of counts. And as you breathe out, let them go. Let them hang free. And again, breathing in, moving your shoulders up to your ears as high as you can get them. Hold them there with your breath. And as you breathe out, let them go. Now bringing your attention back to what's going on around you. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Now, it's likely that your mind got distracted during that exercise, and that's completely normal. Our brain does wander off. And if we think back to the beginning where we were talking about the challenges that we experience around focusing and maybe getting distracted when we're trying to do important tasks, mindfulness exercises like this are a vehicle to improve our muscle of paying attention. Now, when we notice our mind has wandered during these exercises, our job is to start recognizing when it has wandered off and without judgment, just gently bringing our mind back to the focus of our breathwork exercise. And each time we do that is like a rep in building our ability and our muscle to pay attention. So mindfulness improves our focus with regular practice. And our breath is our secret weapon to support us in the challenges and opportunities that we face. It's always with us, hopefully. And the breathwork techniques that we've used here, we can draw on to support us. So when we're breathing out for longer than we're breathing in, it helps us to physically calm any physical symptoms of stress that we might be experiencing. So when we're about to lead a presentation at work or maybe take on a challenging conversation, we can use techniques like this in the moment to support us to take a calm and objective next step. And a study Microsoft did a few years ago actually highlighted the importance of taking these short breaks throughout a working day, particularly where we can be sat in front of a screen so much, depending on the job role that we do. If we're in back-to-back meetings, the power of taking just a short break to practice an exercise like this has been shown to physically reduce the physical stress in our brain. So the power of these small breaks and how they can enhance our focus, reduce our stress, and support us to feel at our best. Now on to the next tool in our 5 for Thrive, the daily thanks. And for this, you will need a pen and paper. And what I'm going to do is ask you a few questions, and I'd like you to note down something that you are grateful for. So first of all, something around you now that you're grateful for. Note it down. Next, note down someone you're grateful for. Now, something that you couldn't do today without. Next up, a strength or quality of yours that you're grateful for. And lastly, noting down something that you use every single day. And once you're done, have a look over the things you've written down and notice the value that they add to your life and your day. What might your day or life be like without them? Gratitude is a tool that's becoming increasingly more popular. And the reason why it supports us is because we all have a negativity bias in our brain. Now, this means that we might get to the end of a working week and 100 good things may have happened during that week, but we might focus on the one negative. And if we think about why this is, back in our ancestry, ignoring the negative had a risk and a threat to our survival. For example, our cave people ancestors wandering through the bushes, they might hear a rustle. If they were to ignore that rustle and that rustle be a tiger waiting to pounce on them, then it's not going to end too well for them. So the focus on the negative supported to keep us alive. But fast forward into the 21st century, and well, there aren't too many tigers waiting in the bushes to pounce on us. But our brain hasn't quite caught up. So, by actively practicing just a short daily thanks gratitude exercise like this, it can help us rebalance the perspective of our lives To actively appreciate the good stuff that is surrounding us that we might usually ignore. You can do this whilst the kettle boils, or most of our members tend to do this first thing in the morning to kickstart the day. Now, on to the third tool in our Five to Thrive mental fitness workout, empowering affirmations. Now, if you're anything like me, you might come to affirmations with a bit of a skeptical mind, and I completely understand why. They are often overused and misused, with prompts kind of shared online that perhaps you've tried, but they just fall short, don't resonate, and don't have an impact. Now, what I'm going to reveal here is the two-step critical process that most people overlook that truly enable affirmations to powerfully increase confidence. The first step in the process is ensuring affirmations are tailored to our own individual circumstances. So, the option I have for you here is to either note down a limiting belief that you experience often, or think about a challenge that you have coming up over the next couple of weeks and note it down. Once you've got that noted down, write down and think think about and write down a previous experience, something that helped you last time, an existing skill or strength that will support you through this challenge, or maybe something similar that you have done before. Note it down. Now turn this experience, skill, or strength into a short statement by including I am, I use, I have, I can, or my at the beginning of it. What you have here is an affirmation statement that is specifically tailored to your circumstances and tailored to your skill and your experience. It's realistic, it's evidence based, meaning our brain can believe it, and it will truly empower us to confidently step out of our comfort zone if we apply the second step that's often overlooked, which is repetition. To signal to our brain that this here is important, we need to repeat our affirmation statement to ourselves out loud, but we won't do that part now. When it comes to using our affirmations, spend even just 30 seconds repeating it out loud to ourselves and putting this into context of maybe a presentation that you're doing. Spending the few minutes before you go on stage repeating it to yourself over and over. You're replacing the time that maybe you might be talking yourself out of it or experiencing unhelpful negative self talk. You're replacing it with empowering words of encouragement, boosting reliable confidence in your ability to go ahead and give your best to that presentation. Our fourth tool is value setting, creating a core value set, a handful of qualities that you believe make you a good person. For example, kindness, calm, integrity, teamwork, family, honesty, adventure, or bravery, whatever works for you. Our values become our rock. And as the external world comes crashing over around us, pulling us in different directions, our values are unmoved, providing a roadmap that guides our behaviour and supports our decision making, as we can use them to help us find the best option that aligns to our core values. And we're going to start and build this foundation to create your own core value set today. Now, to kickstart, I'm going to set a timer. And what I'd like you to do is note down as many qualities as you can that are important to you being a good person. And if you're in a group setting, maybe you could do this in pairs. Right. Now you've got another couple of minutes to whittle down the list and select the handful that are most important to you. So you're looking for maybe 4 or 5. This might be something that you want to get the foundations in now and then revisit to really nail in and ensure that you've selected the ones that best align for you. But this gives us a good start point to go from. Once we have our core values set, this is how we can then use them to build our confidence, motivation, and mental fitness. And this tool is adapted from Stoic philosophy. So choose your top value, write it down at the top of the page. Next, let's reflect over yesterday. How closely have you lived to this value in your actions yesterday? And maybe give yourself a score of 1 to 5. 1 being, actually, no, I didn't live to this value at all today. Or 5 being, yep, I'm pretty confident I lived very closely to it. Then, once you've given that measure, take a moment to write down why and how. So, examples of living to this value, or why it was challenging for you to live to this value in a particular situation presented to you. For example, if your value was kindness and you gave yourself a score of 5, it might be that you opened a door for a colleague, helped your neighbour in with their shopping, or told a colleague how much their work is of value to you. And you don't have to write down a lot here, whatever comes to mind. What this does is provide a space of objective reflection. If we've lived to our values closely, great. We can be confident we're living to what we believe a good person to be. If we haven't, like we all do, we all have off days. This provides us a space to objectively refine for tomorrow. So instead of getting caught up beating ourselves up in negative thinking loops, it allows us to just reflect and refine for tomorrow. And then what you do is repeat that process for each one of your core values. And this is something our Pocket Mentor members tend to use in the evening. Mostly is the last thing they do on their phone before they go to bed. So ending the day with a reflection of what's happened for you and how closely you've lived to that core value set. And last but certainly not least is the final tool in our 5 to Thrive reflection. And this is micro journaling, supporting us to just check in each day, noting our progress, and it also supports us to switch off and feel mentally present with our home life. I'm going to ask you 3 questions so you can give this a go and give you around 90 seconds writing time for each question. And I'd like you to write about yesterday. So, first of all, tell me about yesterday. What happened? What progress did you make? What can I learn from yesterday? Some days you might write lots down, others just a few words or sentences. What this short reflection enables us to do, if journaling is something that maybe you've tried before or haven't quite found your groove with it, this provides a really succinct way of integrating it into your life, which is what this 5 to Thrive is all about. Tangible ways we can prioritize our mental fitness during our busy lives. And this reflection bridges a gap between maybe our working day, whatever that looks like for each of us, and our home mode so that we can better mentally switch off and maybe overcome that negative bias that we might experience in our brain. Where this has become really useful for anyone that is working from home or perhaps has a commute, often our members use this as the last thing they do before switching off their computer for the day, or even sat in their car after they've commuted home, and sitting in their car, completing this reflection 3 questions before walking in the door to our family and friends. And what that enables us to do, like I said, is walk through the front door, having processed our day and maybe in a more objective mindset for the evening. Now, what we've gone through in our 5 to Thrive mental fitness workout, is bite-sized, evidence-based mental fitness tools that we can integrate into our day-to-day so that we can lead a more resilient and confident life and better cope with the inevitable challenges that we will face. And again, it's all about what we do with what we've learned. So we've got the foundations here of our mental fitness workout, and it's how we integrate these into our life from now that counts. And again, I like to compare this to physical fitness. There's two people walking down a road. They both fall down the same pothole. One of them strength trains 4 times a week, the other one does no to little exercise at all. Which athlete or which person is going to bounce back quicker from that fall? The answer seems obvious, doesn't it? It's the person that actively, proactively strength trains 4 times a week. And it's exactly the same with our mental fitness. One of the only things we can guarantee is that things won't always go to plan for us. And so, if we can proactively prioritize our mental fitness and include these mental fitness workout tools into our day to day, then we're giving ourselves the best chance of bouncing back when we fall down the inevitable potholes that will come our way. So, if you see value in prioritizing your mental fitness and would like a vehicle with accountability to do so, then this daily 5 to Thrive mental fitness workout is available to you in the Pocket Mental app. And I'll leave a link below where you can try this out for free.